The way that I'm setting up my dry fly rigs, when I just have one dry fly, so let's start with the big flies. I'm gonna have pretty much a 9-foot leader. We'll start there, and then I'll line it through, and I've got a taper leader. Again, we're talking, anywhere from, 2, 3X, and then I'll tie 2 different knots on a dry fly, on a big dry fly. I'll either use my improved clinch knot, or I'll do a loop knot. Loop knot I prefer is non-slip loop knot. Tie the loop knot just to get those legs moving on that big dry. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about 2 dry fly systems. So what we've talked about is we're going to throw like an attractor fly, or some fly that we can see, or that I'm comfortable with seeing, that I know kind of might be around. There are some out, but there's an October caddis out, and so that's a fairly large orange attractor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw that on as my first dry, and then I'm going to tie a tag on the back of that and trail a small dry. And then for the hatch that I'm expecting, small mahogany or small bluing olive, I can trail maybe a merger at the start since I don't see anything rising. And hopefully as we go forward, we'll start seeing more fish rise. Kind of check my length. It doesn't need to be very long, 2 feet max, because you want to be able to see this fly. So I'll go shorten it up a little bit. Okay, so this is your dry with the small dry behind it, and then clip your tags, use your float, and all right. So that's that system. If I'm going to tie 2 flies on 2 dries, I'm going to use improved clinch knot on the big dry, and then improved clinch knot on the tippet that I have the little dry fly on. And I may do a little loop knot even on a little dry, because some of the dry flies that we're throwing, if it moves just a little bit, that also kind of gets it. It's like an emergent fly. The fly itself is moving, the shuck's not, and so again, I'll use that loop knot just for that little back fly, just to get a little bit of movement in that. The system I prefer is the tag line. So what I'm doing is tying a piece of tippet on. I got the big fly on the back, and I have a little tag where I have the little fly up front. If my tippets are somewhat the same diameter, where I can throw my smaller fly, and I can get my either merger, my cripple, whatever I'm throwing, I'll just kind of grab about 6 inches of line there, and I'll just do a triple overhand, a double overhand, and we'll do it that way first. But for this to work, the diameters have to be the same. And what I've just created is the tag. So I'm gonna clip the bottom off, the top part of that knot. And I'm gonna tie my 2 knot, my big fly here. Check my distance here. I want it fairly spread apart, but it's not so long where I can't see it. So I got my tag up front and my bigger fly in the back, and I'm ready to go with that. It's very independent, floating in the water. So I showed you if the tags are the same, but if they're not, the tippets aren't the same, what we're going to do is grab our tippet, fold it over, double it up, and then we're going to do a blood knot. You're doubling up the tippet side. A little harder to tie, not so bad. When you're using that tag system, the other thing that helps out is it's very independent of each other. If you have the dry with the one on the back, that dry fly, there's tension in that as it floats. The tag system with that 6 inches or 4 inches or whatever that tag that you're using, it's very independent of your big fly. And I think that it really helps with very, very picky fish.